The failure of the Brooklyn Nets Big Three is one of the most intriguing and controversial stories in the modern NBA. When Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving joined forces in Brooklyn, expectations were sky-high. This trio of superstars promised to turn the Nets into an unbeatable powerhouse, a team destined to dominate the league and win multiple titles. But what followed was a spectacle of drama, injuries, controversy, and disappointment. Before joining the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving were at crucial moments in their careers at their former franchises, each facing challenges and making decisions that would lead them to form the famous Big Three. In the 2018 to 2019 season, Kevin Durant was at the peak of his career with the Golden State Warriors. He had already won 2 NBA titles and 2 Finals MVP awards with the team. Durant was a key part of the Warriors dynasty, combining his exceptional talent with the team's tactical mastery. However, the 2018 to 2019 season was marked by a dramatic turnaround. Durant suffered an Achilles tendon injury during the NBA Finals against the Toronto Raptors. This injury not only ended his season prematurely, but also cast uncertainty over his future in the league. Despite his injury, Durant opted for a new challenge, deciding not to renew with the Warriors and signing with the Brooklyn Nets in the 2019 offseason, looking for a new opportunity to lead a team to the title. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving was in his second season with the Boston Celtics, following his controversial departure from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Irving's 2018 to 2019 season with the Celtics was full of ups and downs. Although he had some brilliant moments on the court, the team's chemistry was compromised by internal conflicts and disagreements. Expectations were high for Irving to lead a young and talented Boston squad to the playoffs, but the team ended up being eliminated in disappointing fashion in the Eastern Conference semifinals. During the offseason, it became clear that Irving wasn't happy in Boston. He announced that he would not be renewing his contract and was looking for a fresh start. So he decided to join Kevin Durant at the Brooklyn Nets, where he hoped to find a more favorable environment for his style of play and leadership. The 2019 to 2020 season was a year of transition for the Brooklyn Nets, marked by the arrival of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. However, with Durant out of action due to recovery from his Achilles tendon injury, the responsibility of leading the team fell entirely on Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving started the season with spectacular performances, including a memorable debut where he scored 50 points against the Minnesota Timberwolves, showing the world his brilliance and ability to lead the team. Throughout the first few games, he continued to impress with his ability to score and create plays, maintaining averages of 27.4 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 6.4 assists per game. However, Irving's season was marked by a series of injuries that prevented him from playing consistently. Irving faced persistent shoulder problems, which eventually resulted in surgery that ended his season after just 20 games. His absence was a major blow to the Nets, who expected him to be the team's centerpiece in a season without Kevin Durant. Kyrie's injuries not only affected his ability to contribute on the court, but also prevented him from developing a solid chemistry with his new teammates. With Irving out for much of a season, the Nets had to rely on backup and emerging players like Spencer Dinwiddie, Caris LeVert, and Jarrett Allen. Although these players had moments of brilliance and managed to keep the Nets competitive, the absence of a star like Irving made it difficult for the team to consistently compete against the best teams in the league. Despite the challenges and frustrations of the 2019 to 2020 season, the arrival of Kyrie Irving has brought hope to Nets fans. With Kevin Durant recovering and planning to return the following season, there was a sense of optimism that the superstar duo could turn the Brooklyn Nets into a real title contender. The Brooklyn Nets 2020 to 2021 season was one of the most anticipated and exciting in recent NBA history. With the formation of the Big Three consisting of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and then James Harden, expectations were sky-high. The season began in December 2020 with Kevin Durant making his long-awaited return after recovering from a serious Achilles tendon injury. Kyrie Irving was also healthy and ready to lead the Nets. In the first games of the season, Durant and Irving showed why they were considered 2 of the best players in the league. Durant returned to the court as if he had never been injured, showing off his fluid and efficient game. Irving, for his part, showed his characteristic offensive ability with impressive dribbling and precise shooting. In the first 2 months of the season, the Nets showed flashes of brilliance.
Walking the tightrope. Oh, Blake Griffin! Razzle dazzle! Oh, next level! Kevin Durant, the rack attack!
But also faced challenges. The team had moments of defensive inconsistency and depth problems on the roster, which made it difficult to consistently compete against the best teams in the league. Even so, Durant and Irving continued to carry the team, keeping them among the best in the Eastern Conference. In January 2021, the Nets made a monumental trade by acquiring James Harden from the Houston Rockets. Harden's arrival marked the official formation of the Big Three, and expectations soared. However, this addition brought new challenges, especially with regard to team chemistry and the distribution of offensive responsibilities. In the first games following Harden's arrival, the trio of superstars showed incredible offensive potential. In his debut, Harden recorded a triple-double, and the chemistry between him, Durant, and Irving began to develop quickly. Harden took over many of the point guard responsibilities, allowing Irving to play more off-ball and Durant to focus on his scoring efficiency. Despite the defensive issues that persisted, Harden's presence added a new dimension to the Nets' offense. They became one of the most feared teams in the league, with an offensive firepower that few teams could match. Throughout the season, the Nets faced a series of injuries that affected the continuity and cohesion of the team. Durant missed several games due to a hamstring strain, while Irving also missed time due to minor injuries and personal issues. Harden, who was initially healthy, eventually suffered a hamstring injury that kept him out of action for a significant period. These injuries forced the Nets to rely on their backup players, such as Joe Harris, Blake Griffin, and Jeff Green, to keep the team competitive. Even with these challenges, the Nets managed to remain among the best in the Eastern Conference, thanks to stellar performances from Durant and Irving when they were available. The Brooklyn Nets series against the Boston Celtics in the first round of the 2021 playoffs was a clear demonstration of the overwhelming potential of the Big Three, consisting of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. From the first game, the Nets showed why they were considered favorites for the title. In Game 1, held at Barclays Center, the team started slowly, but soon found its rhythm. Kevin Durant led the way with 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists, showing his ability to dominate in multiple facets of the game. James Harden contributed 21 points and 9 assists, while Kyrie Irving scored 29 points. The combination of these three players was too much for the Celtics to handle, and the Nets won 104-93. In Game 2, the Nets really opened fire on the Celtics. With a relentless offense, Brooklyn scored 130 points, winning 130-108. Durant again led the way with 26 points, but it was the collective performance that caught the attention. Harden had 20 points and 7 assists, and Irving added 15 points. The game showcased the depth of the Nets' offense, with Joe Harris also contributing significantly, scoring 25 points with 7 three-pointers. The series moved to Boston for Game 3. Bucks in the Eastern Conference semifinals was one of the most intense and memorable of a season. Facing a team led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Nets, despite their firepower, encountered unexpected challenges that turned the series into an epic 7-game battle. The series began at Barclays Center, where the Nets immediately showed their strength. In Game 1, despite losing James Harden early on to a hamstring injury, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving led the team to a dominant 115-107 victory. Durant scored 29 points and grabbed 10 rebounds, while Irving added 25 points. The support of role players like Blake Griffin, who had a double-double, was also crucial. In Game 2, the Nets raised their level of play even further, crushing the Bucks 125-86.
Putting threes, crossover on Giannis, and hits, plus the foul.
Durant was simply masterful, scoring 32 points in a near-perfect offensive performance. Kyrie contributed 22 points, and the Nets' defense was suffocating, limiting the Bucks to just 44.1% shooting. The series moved to Milwaukee, where the Bucks found their groove. In Game 3, in a low-scoring defensive game, the Bucks won 86-83. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton led Milwaukee, each scoring 33 points. The Bucks' defense did an excellent job of limiting the Nets' opportunities, especially Durant and Irving. In Game 4, the Nets suffered a devastating blow when Kyrie Irving sprained his ankle in a collision with Giannis, forcing him out of the game and the subsequent series. With Harden and now Irving gone, Durant took over the offensive load, but it wasn't enough to prevent a 107-96 loss. Giannis and Middleton were again key, with Giannis scoring 34 points and grabbing 12 rebounds. Back at Barclays Center for Game 5, with the Nets and Bucks tied 2-2, Kevin Durant delivered one of the most legendary performances in playoff history.
Right from the start, Durant for 3. Durant using the screen for 3. Yes!
Teammates, just so impressive, Marv.
And Durant on cue hits. Good pressure defense by Milwaukee. Now Durant fires and hits. With the shot clock running down, he hit.
Harden returned to the court, but was clearly limited by the injury. Durant played all 48 minutes and recorded a phenomenal triple-double with 49 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists, leading the Nets to a crucial 114-108 victory. His performance included game-winning shots and an unmatched ability to carry the team in critical moments. In Game 6 in Milwaukee, the Bucks responded with determination. Giannis was relentless, scoring 30 points and grabbing 17 rebounds. Bucks won 104-89, forcing a decisive Game 7. Game 7, back at the Barclays Center, was an instant classic. Kevin Durant continued his streak of epic performances, scoring 48 points, including an incredible shot in the final seconds of regulation that forced overtime. However, he was just one step away from a three-pointer that could have clinched the win.
Durant, here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns, he shoots, yes! With 1 second.
In overtime, both teams were visibly exhausted, but the Bucks pulled out a narrow 115-111 victory. Giannis led the way with 40 points and 13 rebounds, and Middleton made crucial plays. The elimination was a huge blow for the Nets, who, despite heroic performances from Durant, were unable to overcome devastating injuries to Harden and Irving. This legendary series not only highlighted Durant's extraordinary talent, but also the resilience of the Bucks, who continued their quest to eventually win the NBA championship. This epic battle between the Nets and Bucks will be remembered as one of the most intense and exciting in NBA playoff history, showcasing the drama and unpredictability that makes basketball so captivating. The 2020-2021 season for the Brooklyn Nets was a mix of untapped potential and disappointment. While the trio of Durant, Irving, and Harden showed flashes of brilliance, injuries and lack of time together prevented them from reaching their true potential. The elimination in the semifinals was a tough blow, but it also served as a reminder. Since the start of the season, the Brooklyn Nets have faced a major controversy involving Kyrie Irving and his decision to not get vaccinated against COVID-19. New York City and NBA regulations required vaccination in order for players to participate in home games and some road games. Irving, who refused to get vaccinated, was unable to play at home and only participated in the road games. This created a complicated scenario where the Big Three was not complete and the team struggled to find consistency. While Kyrie Irving was absent from most home games, James Harden and Kevin Durant continued to carry the team. Harden had a solid season, although he didn't have the same level of impact as previous seasons, and Durant maintained his status as one of the best players in the league. The lack of Irving impacted the team's dynamics, forcing Harden and Durant to take on more offensive and defensive responsibilities. The season was also marred by injuries and form challenges. James Harden dealt with physical problems. Durant, despite his impressive performances, also faced physical difficulties and missed some important games. The lack of a fully healthy squad and Irving's constant absence from home had a negative impact on the team's consistency. During the season, the team made some changes and additions to try and adjust dynamics and improve performance. The arrival of new players and movements in the transfer market aimed to add more depth to the squad and compensate for the lack of Irving. However, these changes did not always translate into immediate success. In February 2022, Harden's dissatisfaction reached the point where he formalized his desire to leave the Nets. The exchange request was made amid a series of conversations about the future of the team and the difficulties the franchise was facing. Harden publicly expressed his desire for a change of scenery, and the situation became one of the biggest stories in the NBA during that period. At the end of January 2022, the situation culminated in a significant exchange. James Harden was sent to the Philadelphia 76ers in exchange for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round draft picks. The trade was a strategic move by the Nets to try to resolve chemistry issues and obtain players who could contribute immediately. Harden's departure had a profound impact on the dynamics of the Brooklyn Nets. While Harden was a key star on the team, his departure brought a new approach to the Nets. Ben Simmons, who was acquired in the trade, brought defensive and distribution skills, although his integration into the team had its own complexities and challenges. For the Philadelphia 76ers, Harden represented a significant addition. For the Nets, the trade was a strategic move to address team chemistry and health issues and adjust the roster for the future. When the playoffs began, the Nets faced a difficult first round against the Boston Celtics, a team that had shown great consistency and strength throughout the season. The series was difficult for the Nets, who faced a combination of defensive issues and the absence of a fully available Kyrie Irving. The Celtics, led by Jason Tatum and with a solid defense, managed to eliminate the Nets in 4 games, an elimination that was considered a huge disappointment for a team with so many expectations. And a change in direction for the Nets. The disbandment of the Brooklyn Nets' big three of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden was one of the biggest disappointments in recent NBA history. The team, which entered the season promising to be a dominant force, struggled with a series of challenges that included injuries, off-court controversies, and internal chemistry issues. A lack of playoff success and an inability to maintain consistent performance were notable. Despite bright moments and exceptional individual performances, the trio failed to achieve the collective success that many had hoped for. The departure of Irving and Durant marked the end of an era that was defined by high expectations, but also by disillusionment and persistent struggles. The departure of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant officially ended the Brooklyn Nets' Big Three run. The franchise entered a period of restructuring with a mission to rebuild and reevaluate its approach for the future. While the trio has shown its potential, the Big Three's history is a reminder of the complexities and challenges that come with forming super teams in the NBA. The 2022 to 2023 season was a milestone in the Nets' journey, signaling a new phase and new hope for the franchise in its quest for success and stability.